Hey guys, Tommybryson here, and today we're going to talk about share buybacks. Why would a company that basically owns the actual company in a sense buy back its own stock? Like, why would Apple use their money from their profits to buy more Apple stock? Like, in my head, does that really make sense? In this video, we're going to break everything down, okay? Because it's not that simple, because this sounds like a very bad use of money. Why use the money from the company to buy more of the company? That really doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense. And by the end of this video, you're going to fully understand it and comprehend it. Now, as always, guys, do me a favor and smash the like button. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, because I do post videos every single day on money and finance and passive income, and you're guaranteed to learn something. And a lot of these videos, guess what? They make you money. Now, the very first thing is, guys, let's dive right into this video. Now, let's say I have a company, and the whole goal here is to really break down exactly what happens when a company goes public. Why would a company buy more of its own shares? And that starts with something called Bryson Motors. And that's my company, by the way. And I invented this new way of walking. And of course, I have this subscription model, so people pay me to learn how to walk because it's a brand new transportation model. Now, effectively, if I own all of my company and then my company goes public and I sell pieces of my company, effectively, what does that mean? It means the people that buy those pieces of my business via stocks are actually owners of my company now, and I no longer own those pieces of my company anymore. So basically, the amount of ownership I have in my company goes down. So I used to have 100%, but now I only have, let's say, for example, 50% because I sold half of the company. There are no take backs. So automatically I have ownership, but other people also have ownership. So why would I go ahead and basically say, hey, I'm going to use the money that the company basically makes to buy those people out and put that back into the company? It's a great question. But let's go even deeper, okay? Because I really want you to make sense of this, all right? So, for example, let me turn up the AC because I'm super hot in here, all right? But for example, all right? So, if my company now has a valuation of $1 billion, right? $1 billion. My company is worth $1 billion. Teaching people how to walk. Everyone needs it. Government program, all the stuff. And you buy 10% of it for $100 million. What does that mean? We're partners effectively. You own a portion of my company. You have ownership in there. There is no take back. There is no go away. No, you have ownership in this company. Although I have more of a controlling portion because I own more than you, but you are still an owner. All right. So why would I want to go ahead and basically use my money to buy you out of the company? Well, we really got to break this down even further. I told you guys, we're going to go super deep here, okay? Because there are a few things that a company can do with the profits. Starting by, for example, first, if the company makes, for example, let's say $10 per share because my company is amazing, I could say, well, we're going to take $5 and reinvest it, and then I'm going to grab the rest of the $5 and basically issue it out as a dividend payment, right? So basically, if you are a shareholder, you're going to get a dividend payment of $5 every single year, and that's something I can do with the profits. Now, the second thing I can basically do with my profits is very simple. I can go ahead and basically reinvest the money back into the company to make me more money. Now, effectively, this only makes sense if the money I withhold from you, the owner, is going to be reinvested and make you more money than it would be worth in your pocket today. Meaning, for example, if I grab $1 for you to reinvest in something else, well, the present value of that dollar better be higher. Because it means if you're grabbing $1 you could have gave to me in dividends, well, that money better be worth later at least $1.10, $1.08, or whatever it is, okay? That way, the money they grab, they reinvest, and it makes me more money. But if you can't make me more money, just give me the money. So effectively, don't ever fall for the trick that because the company doesn't give out a dividends, is actually gonna make you richer. No, if they don't know what they're doing like Zappos, guess what? You're gonna lose the money because they are very bad at doing stuff sometimes, okay? These are managers and they're good at managing stuff, but it doesn't mean they're good at business and actually acquiring other businesses, okay? Now, the third thing they can do is basically use that money to repurchase shares. That means yes, okay? We're finally here. We have $5 extra We gave you $5 in the dividends. We're going to use that $5 to go ahead and basically buy more shares of our own company. Now, how does this work? And why would they actually do this? Well, the answer is simple, okay? Let's say, for example, me and you, we start this company, okay? Before I kicked you out, before I called it Bryson Motors, it was actually built in Bryson Motors, okay? I just kicked you out. No one knows about this, okay? But basically, me and you started the company. So you own half the company, I own half the company. And then there's a third person here, which is basically Paul. And Paul wants to be a silent partner. He says, well, I want to buy 10% of the company, okay? So, okay, Paul, we're going to sell you 10%. That's fine here. So now effectively, you own 45, I own 45. Paul owns around 10%. Now, he's seeing wide success in our company. And basically, the company's making more money, more money, more money. Now, me and you, we're not interested in selling because we know how far this company is going to go, okay? After all, we're going to teach the whole world how to walk. All right. But Paul is only worried about money. Greedy Paul. By the way, I love Paul. Paul is my editor. He knows that. Okay. But overall, right, Paul just wants his money and he wants to dip. So he tells us, hey, okay, I know I own 10% of this company, but I want to sell you guys back this 10% because I want to move on to better, greater things. So obviously, okay, if our company is worth, for example, $10, right? That's the overvaluation because that was when we first got started. No one actually bought in the idea yet. Well, obviously, I own $4.50. You own $4.50, and Paul owns like what is it like $1 is it? Yeah, it's $1. Paul owns $1. So Paul owns $1. He's like, hey, I'm gonna sell you my share, which is worth $1. For 90 cents or 80 cents. What does that mean? Effectively, by buying Paul out at a discount, we are going to basically make more money and also increase our ownership because now you go back to owning 50 cents and I go back to owning 50%, okay? 50%, not 50 cents. I caught myself there. This is not a rap song, okay? But that's the idea. So the whole thing is basically if a company can effectively buy back more of their shares at a discount, effectively that's going to make the shareholders in there basically increase their equity position while also making them richer because usually when they do this, the share price tends to go up, which is actually a great thing. Now, that's the middle ground version. What you just heard is the vanilla version. Now I'm going to go even deeper because this gets even deeper, okay? There are other reasons why they do share buybacks. It's not just, for example, we want to increase our equity. We want to basically raise the shares. We want to make shareholders actually richer and actually have more ownership over the company. No, it's not just that, but it's also one to save money on taxes. You guys knew this was coming, right? Taxes are a big deal. So think about this, okay? I could either give you those $10 in a dividend payment, or I can use those $10 to buy back more shares at a reasonable discounted price, which means we're actually going to be actually making money while buying these shares back and basically raising our ownership level, which thus in some way eventually is going to increase the share price, right? So by doing this effectively, if the value of your stock goes up from $5 to $10, you're not taxed on that. But if I issue out, for example, a payout of $10 per share as a dividends, you are going to be taxed on that because, again, it is income. So by not giving that money out as income and just basically buying back shares, effectively, you find a little loophole around taxes, all right? Which is actually a good thing for shareholders. So this is awesome. This is great. This is good. However, this is not great. And here is the second thing, okay? They do this a lot of the times to manipulate the share price. Because if I know that buying back shares is going to send signals to shareholders that basically we are very confident in our company and that's where we're putting money back and we actually believe that's actually undervalued. But in reality, we don't know. Guess what's going to happen? The share price goes up, doesn't matter what price you pay, and then effectively what happens is you're actually overpaying for something. And it actually makes the shareholders actually poorer. It's the equivalent of going back to the example of you knowing our company is worth $10, you own $4.50, I own $4.50, Paul owns $1, but Paul wants $5. We pay him $5 because basically we know the price is going to go up either way and we're like, but in reality, it's immoral. Because what we're doing, we're dealing with a bunch of people. Managers do this because basically it makes them money with the salary, and it makes them look better. The share price go up. They own equity in these companies, and they basically sell it. There are boards of companies where they basically have never, ever, ever bought a single stock with their own money. All the stocks have been given to them. So their incentive is to bring the price up, sell. Bring the price up, sell. They don't have any actual money of their own in the actual company. That's a big problem, okay? That's the second bad thing. The third thing is, guys, okay, it offsets dilution, okay? Now, let me break this down in a very simple way. Your mom ever made for you any juice? What's that juice that I used to love when I was a kid? It was like with this guy with he looked like a Kool-Aid, the Kool-Aid guy, okay? My mom bought me that juice twice, but it was too expensive back then for me and my family, believe it or not, okay? But Kool-Aid, all right? Kool-Aid is usually supposed to be like one packet makes like 1 liter of juice, right? That's the idea. So you put one packet, 1 liter of water, boom, you get some Kool-Aid. It's good, it's concentrated, it's awesome, right? But then if you have more people and you have like 5 liters of water and you have 1 packet of Kool-Aid and then you put it in there, you're basically drinking like sugar water. It's not the same thing. So in reality, to put this into perspective, okay, if me and you own a company, again, the same company, you own half of this company, right? And we issue out, for example, just like, let's say the company has 10 shares, you own 5 of them, I own 5 of them, all of it, well, let's say 100, let's go bigger because we're a bigger company, okay? So we own 50% of this company. We have 100 shares in total. You owe 50, I owe 50. We want to raise capital. So we go ahead and say, hey, let's sell 20% of our ownership. Okay. So we go ahead effectively and say, hey, we're going to sell, or we're going to basically throw out there 20 more shares. Okay. 20 more shares. So now effectively we have 120 shares. The people go ahead and buy those 20 shares. So now you had 50% ownership. I had 50% ownership, but how much ownership do we have now? Well, effectively, when you had 50 shares and we had in total 100 shares, you own 50%, right? Times 100, that's 50%. But now you own 50 shares, but now effectively we have 120 shares in the market. So now we have 41%. That's how much you actually own now. So basically your ownership basically went down because we issued out more shares. However, if we say, hey, this company is going great, is actually selling at a discount right now, let's go ahead and grab the profits and buy back some of these shares. Let's go ahead and buy back 10 shares, okay? Boom, buy back 10 shares. Now, effectively, if you own 50 and now there's only 110 available, what does this mean? It means basically you go from 41% to now owning 45%, you see? So it's a way to offset dilution. It's a way of saying, hey, that's enough water in that Kool-Aid, my friends. Just put some more Kool-Aid in there, okay? That's the idea, to make it actually concentrated and actually strong. That's the whole process. So if you ask me, Tommy, is share buyback a good thing? The answer is yes. As long as it's done in a way to make the shareholders richer and actually increase their ownership, it is an amazing thing. And to actually save you money in taxes. But whenever it's done for the sake of just having a quick profit to increase share price and to basically benefit the managers, it becomes immoral and it becomes very stupid. So my point is this. Sometimes it's better to just get paid a dividend than to leave companies with the money. So that's why you got to be very careful when a company is not issuing out a dividend, and make sure that what they do with the money actually makes sense financially. So here's my last example if you made it all the way to this part of the video, and I want you to comment down below, walk. Because soon enough, I want to make that company, teaching people how to walk. But comment down below, walk, so I know you made it all the way to this part of the video, and so I know you're a real person. And also don't forget to like this video. It really does help a lot. Now, here's the last example, okay? You have a company like Berkshire Hathaway. They basically make a bunch of money, right? They've never issued out dividends. All they do is basically use that money, and their idea is we could either issue out a dividend and then basically pay taxes. The shareholders basically make less money because we believe that with the money that we retain, that we basically keep and don't give to the shareholders, we can grab this 10,000 and turn it into 10,200 or 10,500. Basically just earn more money, effectively making the shareholders richer. That's a good thing because it means you and I are going to make money by retaining our investment in Berkshire Hathaway. Now, if they go ahead also and say, hey, Berkshire Hathaway selling for $1,000, We believe it's actually worth $2,000. Let's go ahead and buy back some shares. Effectively, that increases our ownership, thus makes us richer because we're also buying it at a discount. The idea is it is a good thing. But it's not a good thing if Warren Buffett wakes up tomorrow, loses his mind and says, we're buying back shares because basically this company is awesome. But in reality, it's not. It's not. That's not good, okay? That's the idea. So you got to have foresight, be able to understand. And that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. I hope this video actually makes sense and you actually understand that share buybacks is actually a good thing. It's actually a very good, effective way to actually grow your ownership in a company, to actually save you money on taxes and a lot of other variables, okay? So that's it, guys. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. On top of that, up here is another video. Now, this video right here is all about, hey, why do companies split their stock? This is also very interesting, okay? And here is my face. Click subscribe. And as always, long-term team officially out. By the way, love you, Paul.